If you're making very little to no sales in your Etsy shop, it's probably because you're not driving enough traffic to it. Pinterest is the #1 traffic source for many Etsy sellers, including myself. I always find that I make more sales during the months that I promote my products on Pinterest. So if you're currently not using Pinterest for your shop, or you have no idea how it works, then this video is for you. Before we begin, my name is Sandra. Welcome to my channel. I help you build side hustles and passive income streams online, so be sure to subscribe and hit that bell for more content just like this. Pinterest is an amazing traffic source because, first of all, it's free to use and it's a visual search engine. Users are constantly going into Pinterest and typing in the search bar exactly what they're looking for. Each pin directs them to either a blog post or a product for sale. So they're either looking for inspiration or something to buy. You can see that when you create and upload pins of your Etsy products, people will find your pin, click on it, and they're automatically directed to your Etsy product where they can purchase it. This video is going to be super beginner friendly. We're gonna go over how to optimize your Pinterest profile, how to create Pinterest boards, how to create and upload pins, and how to find relevant keywords to use in your boards and pins. Because like I mentioned, Pinterest is a search engine, and the better your keywords are, the easier it will be for your pins to rank. So let's get started. If you don't already have a Pinterest account, just go to the sign up button on the top right and sign up with your email. It's just that easy. So let's talk about optimizing your account first, because the more you can fill in the required fields, the more people will want to follow you when they find your account, and the easier it will be for you to rank in Pinterest. So the first thing you're going to upload is a profile cover. So basically your banner. Now, if you're wondering what size this image should be, I've actually pulled up an article from Pinterest that tell you that it should be at least 800 pixels by 450 pixels. If you're designing your own banner in like Photoshop or Canva, then just make sure that it's at least these dimensions. Mine is very basic, but very on brand for what I offer in my Etsy shop. I just got this stock image from pexels.com. They offer free stock images that you can use, but you could totally choose a stock image, put it into a design tool like Canva, and maybe add in some text on what your profile is about, maybe even add in the URL to your Etsy shop, and maybe your Instagram account if you want your Pinterest followers to find you on other social media platforms. To change your banner size, just go to the pencil icon right over here and then click on Change Cover. Next, you can change your profile photo. I always recommend a photo of yourself because people love to see the face behind the brand. And right underneath is the name and the About section. Now, this is the opportunity for you to put in some keywords that will help your profile get ranked easier. And in order to change all of this, we're gonna go into settings. So at the top right over here, just click on settings. Under public profile, this is where you can change your profile photo. Under name, you can see I've just put in my name, but I've also put in positive affirmations for self-love. That's a keyword phrase that I found through my keyword research, which we'll get to later. And then I've put in office decor. So I just want people to know what my whole Pinterest profile is about when they land on it. Under About section, I've put in a sentence that include a few relevant keywords, and then I've just put in visit my shop at, and then I've included the URL to my Etsy shop because that's obviously where I want to direct people to. Under account management, make sure to convert to a business account. So you're gonna change it from personal to business so that you have access to business tools like analytics, because this way you're gonna see what's working in your Pinterest account and what's not over time. And I've been getting this question a lot, so I will clear this up now. Under claimed accounts, you cannot claim your Etsy shop anymore. You can claim a website. So if you have your own website or blog, you can do that right here. And if you're wondering what the heck does this even mean, when you claim your Etsy shop, at least when we were able to before, your pins become rich pins. So if you don't know what rich pins are, I'll just put up a blurb right here that comes directly from Pinterest on what rich pins are. I've actually sent them an email and asked them, will our pins still be rich? And they said, yes, don't worry about not being able to claim your Etsy shop. When you add in a destination link for all your pins, they will be rich. So I'll show you that later on when we go to create the pin and add in a destination link. Moving on to Pinterest boards. If you scroll down and click on saved, you will see all of the boards that you have created. So these are all of my boards. The best way I can explain what a board is that it's basically a category, a collection of pins that I have created myself and that I've also shared from other people's profiles. Now, a tip here is that you want to share other people's pins that are complementary to your pins, not competitive. So for example, if you are selling printable wall art, you don't want to be sharing other people's printable wall art pins because that's competitive to yours. But you do want to share other home decor pins. So you'll notice I have a lot of home decor boards and I've shared things like vases, candles, furniture, things like that, because that complements my printable wall art. It does not compete with it. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, to create a board, just go to the plus sign right over here and click on board. This is where you're going to name your board. And what I recommend is that each name is a keyword. And like I mentioned, we're going to get into keywords later on. But for this one, I am going to name this self-love tips because like I mentioned, I offer a lot of wall art, planners, and positive affirmations. Now you can click on keep this board secret if you're not ready to pin to it just yet, or maybe it's a personal board that you just want to keep secret, but I'm just going to leave that as is and create it. Right away, Pinterest is going to populate a bunch of pins based on the keyword that I use, self-love. So it's going to ask me if I want to pin any of these. And honestly, I could start saving a few right now because they're not competitive to my positive affirmation cards. There's a lot of like blog posts that are very complimentary. So I can go ahead and start saving. So if I wanted to save, let's say 12 days of self-care, I can click on save here. Let's save a couple here. So you can start pinning right away. When I hit save, it's going to pin it to this board. And then let's just click on done for now. And then this is my board so far, but all I have right now is the title of the board and then 3 pins that I've shared to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 3 dots right over here and I'm going to click on edit board. This is where I can add in a board cover if I want to, and then add in a description. So I've already created a description for this that includes keywords, of course, and I have a whole spreadsheet that I'm going to go over later on, but this is what it looks like because I like to divide up where I find all of my keywords. So you'll notice right here under board content, I had the idea of having a self-love board. So this is my, that's the content. And then the next 3 columns are how I found my keywords, but I ended up with a board title of self-love tips. That's just the keyword I chose from my research. And then I'll write in a board description. So this is the board description. Feel free to pause the video, screenshot it to kind of get an idea of how I like to formulate my description. But basically I include keywords naturally within the description. So I'm just going to copy and paste this right into the description right over here. And I'm happy with that. I'm just going to click done. And then I can start adding in pins into this board. If you're getting value from this video so far, hit that like button and let me know in the comments if you have any questions so far and what you would like me to elaborate on in future videos. Okay, fun part, creating and uploading pins. To upload your own pin, you're just gonna go to the top left over here to create and go to create pin. So what's great now is Pinterest will actually list their best practices right over here. So if you want to know the best practices on creating a pin, just click right over here and it's going to show you dimensions of static images and length for video pins and things like that. So feel free to read through that. So keep in mind that Pinterest is a visual search engine. You want your pins to pop. You want them to be beautiful, high quality pins. What I like to do before I even start designing pins is I will go onto Pinterest and start typing in keywords that are relevant to my products and just get inspiration on how other people are creating their pins. Now, I've already created 3 pins for my new positive affirmation cards and I used Canva. So this is what they look like. This is my first pin. I literally just took a few of my cards and I put it onto here, just added in some text. I put in positive printable affirmation cards for kids. And then I created another board and I just designed another pin. And I honestly just got a lot of inspiration from just looking up other people's pins and seeing what I can take inspiration from that. I have a whole Canva tutorials playlist. I will link that in the cards for you if you want to take a look at that, if you've never used Canva before. And I have a video on how to create pins that you can also check out. I will link that down below for you. But the other thing Pinterest always recommends is to create fresh pins, which means pins that they've never seen before. And all three of these are very different from each other. So that's why I like to bulk create my pins, I guess, and try to make them unique from each other. Basically, I just went into share over here and then I downloaded them as JPEG files. If you do have the Pro account, you can increase the quality if you like, and then just download them as JPEG files. If you would like a whole new tutorial on how I created these pins, let me know in the comments below. But like I mentioned, you can check out the tutorial I have on my channel as well. All right, so let's upload these pins. I'm going to just press this plus sign right over here because I'm going to upload all three pins at once. So you'll actually see how I do this in real time. So if I just scroll down, you'll see that I have now 3 spots where I can upload all 3. And of course, you can do way more at once. You can do 10 to 20 pins if you want to kind of just create all of them at once. But I'm just going to do 3 pins in this tutorial. So I'm going to click right over here and I'm going to select the first pin. I'm just going to hit update changes because I'm not making any changes to this pin here. And then I'm going to add a title. So this is why I love having the spreadsheet that I have created. You can see at the bottom here, I've got a tab for pins and a tab for boards. This is just how I like to organize all of my product pins and the keywords for each. I actually have a master spreadsheet, but I didn't want to overwhelm you with what that looks like. So I just want to show you kind of how I break it all down here. You'll notice similar to the boards tab, I have a column for product. So this is affirmation cards for kids. And then I will do research for the keywords for that specific product. That's what these 3 columns are. And then I have pin titles. And you'll notice I have 3 pin titles and 3 pin descriptions for the same product. The reason I like to cycle through these is because Pinterest actually likes to see different titles and descriptions. So you don't want to just keep copying and pasting the same title, same description. You could get flagged for spam. They might think you're a robot. So it's just nice to kind of cycle through. I'll usually have maybe 3 to 5 different descriptions for the same product. So let's go ahead and copy the first title, go back right over here and paste it into here. Positive affirmations for kids. Then I'm going to put in my description. And I'm just going to highlight this one. Once again, feel free to pause this, screenshot kind of how I like to put this together. Similar to the board description, I like to naturally include relevant keywords within this description. So I'm going to copy this right into here. You can add in some alt text here, which will be read out loud by screen readers. And then finally, you want to add the destination link. This is really, really important. This is actually going to make your pin rich, which means if I change anything in my Etsy listing, then it will change within the pin, like the price or something like that. So I'm going to go to my Etsy listing and I'm going to copy the link and paste it into here. Now I can either publish immediately or I can publish at a later date. I'm just going to keep it at publish immediately. Now, the last thing that I want to do here is actually pick the board that I want this to be pinned to. So you'll recall the board I created was the self-love tips. I'm just going to select self-love tips right over here. And when I click publish, it will automatically pin to my new board. And then I'm going to follow the exact same process for the next 2 pins right over here. Just to show you what my board looks like now, I'm going to go into self-love tips, my new board, and these are the 3 pins that I have just published. So if I click on the pin, you'll see that the Etsy link is right here. So anybody that is searching for keywords that I have potentially included in here, they might find my pin and then they can click on the pin. They'll be directed to my cards where they can decide if they want to purchase or not. So you can see how Pinterest is an incredible traffic source for your Etsy shop. Finally, we're going to get into keywords now. How do you actually find all of these keywords to put in your board and pin titles and your board and pin descriptions? So there's a few ways, as you saw in my spreadsheet. The first way, and I put it in here, is search bar. Now I'm gonna go to Pinterest right over here, and then I'm just gonna go to the search bar and start typing in relevant keywords within the products that I offer. So I can start typing in like self-love, positive affirmations, things like that, and just see what Pinterest is going to populate for me. So let's start with positive. So I'm seeing already positive quotes for life. That's a keyword. So these keywords that Pinterest is populating, these are actually keywords that people are searching for right now, which means I have a chance at ranking with these keywords. So that's one that I could copy and paste into my spreadsheet. So right now I'm just doing research. So let's see, positive affirmations. If I type in positive affirmations, I'm seeing positive affirmations for kids, positive affirmations for kids printable. So you'll see all of that here. These are great keywords already. So if I take it a step further and I go positive affirmations for kids classroom, that's pretty cute. I really like that. Maybe teachers are looking for positive affirmations to put in their classrooms. So those are already ideas. I can put that in there. So let's try now self-love. I'm seeing self-love quotes, self-love affirmation quotes. So you can see that this is a cycle. You just want to start thinking of some words that people could be searching for to find your product pins. So even if I try maybe mindfulness meditation, mindfulness for kids. Okay, so that's the search bar feature. And you'll see right here, I've gotten positive affirmations for kids, positive affirmations printable, daily affirmations for kids. So these are ones that I found through my research. And of course, I can add in way more as I think of completely different words that could also describe my product. Then related searches. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to type in positive affirmations for kids and press enter. So if I start scrolling down, I'm going to see a bunch of pins. I can actually do my research right now and just kind of get inspiration on how people are creating their pins for similar products. But what I am looking for is these bubbles right over here. So under related searches, all of these bubbles are similar keyword phrases that users are actually typing in. So daily affirmations for kids, that's a good one. Kids affirmations, free printable. I wouldn't put in free, but I would put in probably kids affirmation printable, kids affirmations for school, positive self-affirmation. So these are really, really good. And then if I click on one of these, I can do the research again for this specific keyword phrase and look for those related searches again. So this again becomes a cycle, and I can find endless keyword phrases that I can add in to my spreadsheet. So you'll see that's what related searches are. And these are the keyword phrases that I found through this method. Now, finally, this is actually my favorite one. It's the ads campaign keywords. So this is the third and final way I like to find relevant keywords. What we're gonna do is go to the top right here into ads, and we're gonna click on create campaign. Now, we're not actually creating an ad. We're just trying to get to a certain feature where we can do some more research. So I'm just gonna hit create new, and I'm just gonna go to brand awareness under campaign objective. Really doesn't matter, to be honest. And then let's just hit continue. Then under targeting details, let's go to find new customers. And you'll see a section here for interests and keywords. Let's just click this drop down arrow, and you'll see right here, enable interests and keywords. It might not be checked off for you by default. So just click on that and then click on add keywords. Now this is where we are going to type in, once again, a keyword that we think people are going to be searching for, and then Pinterest will populate more keywords that are related to that. So if I type in positive affirmations and hit enter, it's not only going to give me the keywords that are relevant, but it's also giving me the monthly searches, which is pretty amazing. It tells me how popular and high on demand these searches are. So this one is 2 million to 3 million, 500K to 1 million. And what I like to do is actually diversify the monthly searches, because you might be tempted to only add in the ones that have the higher monthly searches, but typically those keywords are more competitive. So I'll add in some of the high monthly searches, but also I'll scroll all the way down as well to see the ones that are up to maybe 10K and see if they're also relevant, like self-motivation quotes. That's a good one. Positive morning quotes. And again, just kind of like diversify and making sure that they're all relevant to my product pin. So that's what you'll see under ads campaign. So if I do another one, let's say I type in self-love and just see what shows up here. I'm seeing self-love journal. Now that's not relevant to the positive affirmation cards that I'm making here, but it could also be inspiration for another product I could create later. So self-love journal, that's pretty good. Self-love quotes motivational, monthly searches between 500K to 1 million. That's a pretty good one. What's great is I can actually hit this plus sign right here, and then it will just kind of add to this list of keywords that I can actually just copy and paste into my spreadsheet after. So self-love quotes affirmations, that's a good keyword. And you'll see it'll just keep populating on the left-hand side here. So that's under ads campaign. Then after I've compiled many keywords for this product, that's when I kind of decide what I want my pin title to be and what I want my pin descriptions to be. Hopefully that all made sense. Let me know if you have any questions on keywords in the comments below. If you're wondering how many pins you should be posting every single day, when you're first starting out, I recommend about 10 pins a day. Don't panic. I know that sounds like a lot, but keep in mind that at least 50% of these pins can be from other people that you're sharing. So maybe share 4 to 5 of your own pins every day and then pin from other people's accounts. Then after a couple of months of using Pinterest, you can slow it down a little bit because when you start to gain momentum, other Pinterest users are going to find your pins and they're going to repin it to their accounts, therefore exposing your pins to their audiences as well. So you can see how this becomes a snowball effect. Give this video a like if it was helpful. And once again, let me know in the comments if you would like me to elaborate on anything else in a future video. You can head over to this video next where I show you how to create pins using Canva, and I'll see you there.